We are citizens of the world. The tragedy of our times is that we do not know this. For the first time in a long time, I want more than I have. Art is the lie that enables us to realize the truth. I am still in the land of the dying. I shall be in the land of the living soon. People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading. Because sometimes people who seem good end up being not as good as you might have hoped. Somebody has to start. Somebody has to step forward and do what is right, because it is right. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. One must work and dare if one really wants to live. When faith in our freedom gives way to fear of our freedom, silencing the minority view becomes the operative protocol. You don't know me. You know one me, just like I know one you. And you can't know every me, and I can't know every you. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. It's amazing how quickly nature consumes human places after we turn our backs on them. Life is a hungry thing. To develop the habit of gratitude or make it a lifestyle, we must learn to exhibit or practice gratitude in the ordinary affairs of life. The wealth required by nature is limited and is easy to procure, but the wealth required by vain ideals extends to infinity. Surround yourself only with people who are going to take you higher. The most dangerous irony is, people are angry with others because of their own incompetence. Sacrifice is a part of life. It's supposed to be. It's not something to regret. It's something to aspire to. A traitor's just a patriot on the wrong side of winning. We don't receive wisdom. We must discover it for ourselves after a journey that no one can take for us or spare us. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. There are ships sailing to many ports, but not a single one goes where life is not painful. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender. Better to die fighting for freedom than be a prisoner all the days of your life. The only faithfulness people have is to emotions they're trying to recapture. In order that all men may be taught to speak truth, it is necessary that all likewise should learn to hear it. We are flawed creatures, all of us. Some of us think that means we should fix our flaws. But get rid of my flaws and there would be no one left. Before I can live with other folks, I've got to live with myself. The one thing that doesn't abide by majority rule is a person's conscience. Life is like yoga. The only way you can enjoy it is by relaxing into any position you happen to find yourself in. Very occasionally, if you pay really close attention, life doesn't suck. You receive from the world what you give to the world. Proclaim the truth and do not be silent through fear. Loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty. Your brain and thoughts are the last things you want working against you. Make sure they don't. Don't tie your success to anything other than what's inside you. Illegal aliens have always been a problem in the United States. Ask any Indian. Courage is feeling fear, not getting rid of fear. Knowing something is more important than fear and taking action in the face of fear. You will have 500 million little bells, and I shall have 500 million springs of fresh water. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Paths that lead to the crossroads of life, otherwise known as transition. Transition is the tension present between struggle and grace. Chase after the truth like all hell and you'll free yourself, even though you never touch its coattails. The real glory is being knocked to your knees and then coming back. That's real glory. That's the essence of it. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. Life is a series of surprises and would not be worth taking or keeping if it were not. There are times I wish I were invisible, which is silly, since I do everything I can to stand out. People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. Who we are in the present includes who we were in the past. We will all pass through a sorrowful stage in life. When it's your turn, don't let the storm sweep you away. The success of my rule does not rely on my ability to recite obscure Latin verse. Failure is not when you fail once, but when you refuse to learn from your mistakes. If tomorrow were never to come, it would not be worth living today. My heart is too thoroughly dried to be broken in a hurry, and I mean to live as long as I can. We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves. When you cut pieces out of the truth to avoid looking like a fool, you end up looking like a moron instead. It's exhausting, the energy it takes to unknow a truth. Keep your conscious mind busy with the expectation of the best, and the rest will follow. Vote for the man who promises least. He'll be the least disappointing. All great things must first wear terrifying and monstrous masks in order to inscribe themselves on the hearts of humanity. I will not let anyone scare me out of my full potential. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. I hate to say it, but shit really does happen. You just have to get over it. Beat the hell out of it by doing things that make you happy. When you make the dream of your heart a treasure of heaven, it holds an eternal value. Some people could look at a mud puddle and see an ocean with ships. Truth is ever to be found in the simplicity and not in the multiplicity and confusion of things. You don't need to understand what the world is. Just let your life flow with it and become something. There's nothing more embarrassing than to have earned the disfavor of a perceptive animal. Life is going to give you just what you put in it. Put your whole heart in everything you do and pray, then you can wait. Only knowledge can turn life's unbearableness into a weapon. You are a work of art that cannot be fully captured in a single piece of paper. You are so much more than your resume. Mr. Franz, I think careers are a 20th century invention, and I don't want one. Whether we like it or not, modern ways are going to alter and in part destroy traditional customs and values. Perception was easily accomplished, required little effort, and it never had to stand the test of reality. I want to drag knives over my skin, just to feel something other than shame, but I'm not even brave enough for that. There is a tragic clash between truth and the world. Pure undistorted truth burns up the world. Expect everything, I always say, and the unexpected never happens. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes. Sometimes a little discomfort in the beginning can save a whole lot of pain down the road. The trouble with fiction, said John Rivers, is that it makes too much sense. Reality never makes sense. The people I distrust most are those who want to improve our lives but have only one course of action. In life, you always see the darkest days before the sunshine. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. I am inspired by people who are willing to confront the shadows of themselves and find light. We are addicted to our thoughts. We cannot change anything if we cannot change our thinking. Everything that can be thought at all can be thought clearly. Everything that can be said clearly. Faithless is he that says farewell when the road darkens. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. Every decent con man knows that the simplest truth is more powerful than even the most elaborate lie. When you are present in gratitude, you can't be anywhere else. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. It is during our failures that we discover our true desire for success. Everyone is trying to impress everyone else, trying to make themselves out to be smarter or more confident than they actually are. The truth knocks on the door and you say, "Go away, I'm looking for the truth," and so it goes away, puzzling. When you know what you want, and you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to get it. If what you seek is truth, there is one thing you must have above all else. As the questioner, you have the natural advantage of control. Sometimes it takes years for a person to become an overnight success.